We had somewhat of a unique situation. We were relocating back to the area from Chicago, and so we knew the area that we wanted to be. This was the first house that we looked at. We had about 25 homes that we were looking at, and once we were here, we started to compare all the other houses to this home. It was the quality that really stood out, and also speaking with Jim and Brian, we understood that they were willing to form a partnership with us, and a lot of the decisions we had to make were while we were still in Chicago, and we never felt that the distance was hurting that process whatsoever. It was actually helping things move right along and sticking to schedule, and I think that that's something you only find with a smaller, more local builder. As I had mentioned earlier, we knew this was the house that we wanted to buy, but what Brian and Jim allowed us to do was to tailor it in order for this house to become our home. Something that we really appreciated during the process was everything remained on schedule very well. If they told us that cabinets were going to go in one week, the cabinets were installed the week that they had promised, and that gave us such a sense of security that the work was being done and at such a level of quality even when we were far away in Chicago. Well, there were two things that my husband and I really wanted in looking for our new home, and that was we wanted the space to be used efficiently and that it would work for our young family, and we also wanted a beautiful piece of land. And thankfully, we didn't have to compromise on either of those issues. Something else that we really love is that everybody who has come in our home has commented on the quality of the construction, whether it is the smoothness of the ceilings or the quality of our stairs or the aesthetics of our molding. Someone is always commenting on that, and as a new homeowner, that just makes us feel great and that we made the right decision. We most certainly enjoyed our experience with the Webb Building Group, and that was primarily because of the relationship that was almost immediately established between my husband and I and Jim and Brian Webb. That happened because of the communication. There was open and direct communication throughout the entire process, which really made this feel more of a partnership in getting this house together for our family. Brian took over 2 hours to walk through the house with us, to show us the ins and outs of the home prior to a closing, and that made us feel really good that we understood the house a little bit better and its functionality. And what I also want to talk about is the quality of the people that Jim and Brian hire. From painters to plumbers to electricians, these are all solid people who have a history with working with Jim and Brian Webb, and they are people who we feel comfortable recommending to other people and certainly using for ourselves in the future. We had such a positive experience with the Webb Building Group during the whole process, but we were so pleasantly surprised after settlement that Brian and Jim continued to be in such close communication with us. We knew that they were there to offer support, to give advice, to come troubleshoot if we needed to, and it was such a strong partnership after settlement, which gives us such a sense of security in this home. What consistently surprised us most is that Brian and Jim genuinely cared about our family in this home, that we were happy, that we were comfortable, and that everything that was in the home we were pleased with. Even our 2- and 3-year-olds know who Mr. Webb is because of the partnership that we have developed.